Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brandon Croucher, CEO of Delight Cafe. I get the 100% amazing opportunity of hosting the show today with Bob Seymour. Oh, hell yeah, this is going to be a good show. Bob, how are you, my friend?
I'm just rocking and rolling out here in Sturgis, man. It's been great.
I want to be there with you, but this year we know I couldn't. So next year's goal is you and I have our own camper at Sturgis and rocking out, right?
There we go, brother.
I love it. I love it. So, Bob, we have an amazing, absolutely astonishing young women coming on today, and they have a heartfelt story that is just going to pull the hearts of everybody here with a message that I'm super glad to get out. So, Bob, you've met these ladies, Miss Tracy and her daughters, Stephanie and Nicole. They've dealt with quite a loss. Their 20-year-old sister or daughter, Olivia, Red, was hit by a drunk driver in May 2018. So they're here to talk to us about their nonprofit, how to educate people on the foundation that they're doing. Side by Side Humanitarian Award is one of their awards that they're giving out, and their mission is to do good and put out good in our communities. We strive to make random acts of kindness, both effortless and habitual. I have to be honest, the minute I read that, my heart skipped a beat with excitement for this because it's a sad story that's going to be a powerful one. But
Right.
Bob, are you ready to have some fun with me? We have 1 hour with 3 beautiful women. Are you ready for this?
Oh, hell yes.
All right, buddy.
More than ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to introduce Miss Tracy, Stephanie, and Nicole. Thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Bob. Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. All right, Tracy, we're going to start with you. Tell me a little bit about your nonprofit and who you are, and we'll get into the heavier stuff in a few minutes. So that way you don't have to worry. I know we're nervous, so I'm going to make some jokes to get everybody feeling good. All right?
Thank you. My daughter, Olivia Red, was 20 years old and was killed by a drunk driver May 31st, 2018. That's how we got the name of the foundation, the Live Red Foundation. And, you know, she was so young and so beautiful inside and out that a tragedy like that just leaves you frozen. But we decided very early on that she was not going to be another statistic. She was not going to be just a senseless tragedy, that we would continue on in her spirit. And that's what we've been trying to do. Just make random acts of kindness, as you said, effortless and habitual. We're trying to educate the community, educate young kids against the dangers of drunk and impaired driving. And, you know, we've had some challenges. COVID kind of knocked everybody on their butts for a year, but we're back and we're ready to go, rock and roll. These young ladies here, Nicole and Stephanie, have been the driving engine for the most part of this.
You did say that. See, Nicole's in the corner over there. She's like, I'm gonna sneak my way out. Like, I've already caught you, Nicole. Stephanie's like, get in here. I love it. Now, your mom, before you two got here, I have to say, your mom before you got here was totally crediting you two with being this driving force. Now, with this being this is a very sensitive topic for the three of you, I'm sure. And you talk about it regularly, but tell us a little bit about what happened and how you guys are changing the world by living on your sister's legacy.
Mom, do you want to go first or do you want us to?
Go ahead, Miss Stephanie. You're well spoken.
You know, Olivia was truly one of a kind, and we even learned more so after Olivia's passing, the things that she was doing for people in our community. You know, Mom tells a story all the time of how Olivia would reach out and ask for lunch money almost every day and we couldn't figure it out. Well, here she was giving it to other kids. She was reaching out to kids that were friends with our children that we didn't even know that she was working with. And we had a young lady come up to us and, you know, say, Olivia saved my life. She saw that I was struggling. I never met her, but she saw that I was struggling, and she's like, I no longer self-harm, and I credit Olivia with my life. And we came up with this idea that Olivia deserves to be remembered. And if the world could just be a little bit more like Olivia, what a wonderful place that this world could be. So we got the idea to start the Live Red Foundation. And basically what we're looking to do is just to show the world what an amazing woman she was. And, you know, to be like her and to do this type of things that she would do. And we've done so many different events, and we've touched so many different people. You know, of course we can talk about them, but again, it was definitely just to keep Olivia's memory alive, because she deserved that. She truly deserves to be remembered for the wonderful person that she was.
Miss Nicole, tell me a little bit. I'm gonna let you get away. I got you. You're in this now. I'll make this a super easy question for you, okay?
Every time she talks, I'm ready to cry. You know, it's the truth. You know these things, but it's hard to hear them. You know.
You're allowed to cry, and if I start crying with you, please know it's not a sign of sadness. It's comfort. It's one of these things that understanding. So please know. Don't hold back. Be you. This is why we're here. We love to have conversations, and you're bringing attention to the lives to the other people that might not know why driving under the influence is bad, and the lives it changes. So you're doing a great thing. But I'm going to ask you a really, really tough question right now, Miss Nicole. What did you get the kids from DoorDash?
Jake's Pub and Grill.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So I'm gonna call them after this and be like, hey, we said your name. I need a sponsorship. So for Miss Nicole, how do you live on your sister's legacy of what you're doing? And I know that could be a hard question, so just answer it the best way you can. You're doing good things. How do you keep living your sister's legacy on?
Honestly, it's all through the foundation. My children, you know, they are deeply affected by this, but we go into schools. We promote our scholarship, you know, and my sister Stephanie goes in. She wholeheartedly with a speech about kindness, and you know, I'll talk about. We just met with Pee Wee cheerleaders, and I stuttered. You know, tiny little preschool kids.
Cheerleaders are terrifying. Just to throw that
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
It was the hardest crowd, you know. But she talks to them about a lot of them are going to go to high school, just being different, and you know, you see a kid struggling, maybe buy him a soda, or like Steph said, she said, have a sleepover, invite somebody you're not normally going to invite. And this little girl comes up to Steph and she's like, oh, I don't have any friends, you know? So then the next thing you know, all these little girls are coming over and they're like, you can stay at my house. And, you know, but one of my parts, Steph does a great job speaking. I don't like speaking in public as much, but
I'm loving this though. You look so natural. You got it.
I have a nursing background, so I have a different aspect of how you can give. And, you know, we promote with the scholarship also is the volunteering. And it's not necessarily just, you give your heart into those projects. So we go in, we talk about that. And we had kids, there was a girl that started a hygiene drive. You know, some kids can't, nor do their parents care to get them deodorant sometimes. She started a program where they can go to the nurse's office, get deodorant discreetly, toothbrushes, shampoos. We also had another girl, when we did the scholarship, she went from elementary up. The kids made cards for kids that were in shelters. They didn't normally get that Christmas card. And we really are self-promoting. We're given the lead on this, but we want to see, we're working with the local school. We're working with another school. We've been asked, we want it to grow, that, you know, high school, and going back to my sister, we don't want high school to be the bullying scene, or just that tiny, tiny thing they could do makes a huge difference. I find that in myself. You see somebody and the next day realize where they were at, and maybe I could have said more, or so that's what we do. That's what we're hoping to. That's how I try to live. She didn't have that chance, so we try to tenfold.
I think it's important, to even back up a little bit. When Olivia was hit by the drunk driver, she was performing an act of kindness. So she was it was approximately about an hour out of her way to take a girlfriend home from work. The young girl had just had a baby who was only about 6 months old, and she was waiting there for her ride. And Olivia said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she said, "I'm waiting for so-and-so to wake the baby up," because Olivia got off at midnight. And Olivia said, no way. You're not bringing that baby out at this time at night. She's like, "Get in my car and I'll take you home." And that's just the kind of person that Olivia was. She would look for the weakest person in the room. And when we do our speeches and we talk to these girls or anyone, we had a very successful basketball game. So I know you guys aren't from around here, but Conemaugh Valley, our school district, and Ferndale, we have been rivals for almost 50 years. And we went to a basketball game. Our sons played, and there was ejections with parents and every technical fouls getting kicked out.
Horrible
and I
games.
looked at Nicole and we said, "This is our Live Red game. This is," and even people from our school and the other schools are, "Why are you picking this school? We hate them." And I said, "This is the reason that we're picking this school."
Yeah.
So, and to make it, and it's all coming full circle, we had this game. The kids are all friends now, and the cheerleaders cheered with us. And so, I mean, it was all over the news here. And when we talked to them, we explained to them that it's easy to be kind to people that look like you and have the same hobbies as you. Or the same beliefs, the same religion. But the true test of our character and what we want you to go out and do is to be kind to people that aren't like you, that are different than you. Be Olivia, and be kind to people that are unkind to you.
Yes.
And it was just so open received. Now, actually, this school,
Now here's the irony.
yeah, the school, actually, we're such a small school district, and not even because of this game, these schools had to join football teams because there were so few kids.
Yes.
So they went from
Rivals
to friends, and now they're rivals to teammates, and they play on the same team. And to see them come together, we're handing out 250 meals to the homeless next weekend, and the football players and the cheerleaders, they're all coming together, these rivals, to just make a difference in Olivia's name. So her reach is just so far on just her being her, and people saying, "Oh my gosh, we want to do that," and what a wonderful world we would live in if we could just all, show Olivia and how her traits were. So it's really exciting. Yeah.
We're making it happen. We're definitely making it happen. And yes, Sissy's spirit deserves to be remembered and live on. And we do all these things, and that's wonderful. If you guys can't tell how proud I am of my kids, I'm so proud of them. But you reach a point where just the act of kindness itself is kind of, I don't want to use the word addiction, but it's like we feel like we get more out of giving. We get more than in the giving. And to see these kids embrace this, that's a real reward, because we have spoken in the schools and whatnot, and we have a scholarship that we call the humanitarian, side-by-side humanitarian one. And these kids came to us, and they have all these wonderful ideas. These 3 girls, they wanted to dress up as Disney princesses and go visit kids at the cancer ward at the children's hospital.
Oh man!
They didn't know how to do it, so we helped them. We showed them. The other kid wanted to just feed the homeless in Clearwater. He didn't want any help. He didn't want any fanfare. He just wanted to do it. And kids are happy. They have all these great ideas. they just don't have anyone to go to, or they don't know how to start, or they think they're going to be laughed at. And that's an ongoing reward. So
the cool thing about those princesses, Mom, if you remember when we were down there, she said, I want to go and take all my costumes and dress as princesses. And we're like, well, why aren't you doing that? And she said, princesses don't wear glasses. And we looked at her and we said, they sure as hell do. They wear glasses and they wear braces and they do that. And she was like, oh my gosh, she's like, you're right. And it was just that little push because she thought this princess had to be beautiful and that. And we're like, no, you are a princess. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So we're just lighting that fire that people already have. Like we've seen it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's honestly, it's been great to see the response that we have. And it's just that little nudge that these kids need to get going. And Mom always says this, and she says it perfect. You go in and we talk to these kids and they're like, I don't have good grades, or I'm not athletic. And we're like, we don't care. We don't care about that. This scholarship is for the nicest kid in the community and who is making a difference in this world, because those are the people that are going to change the world. And that's the person that Olivia was.
That is
100%.
Think about her senior yearbook. Her.
No, I don't even have to ask questions. This is my favorite interview so far. No, go. I love it. God,
take a breath, girls.
No. I know. I'm sitting here going like, I want to, like, I'm trying to think of a question, but you keep helping each other. Let me ask one thing. And Nicole, you can answer if you want. All right. I saw that. With the fundraising and all of this being done, the influences you're having. Now, I'm asking this to the broad of the three of you, but Nicole, I have a feeling is going to have the answer. Just my gut. How have you noticed a difference in your? How have you noticed a difference in your kids? Because this is a very traumatic experience that pulls them down, and you're using kindness and positivity to show how to get through grief. I'm curious how your kids are responding to that. What has their responses been, and how are they seeing the difference of how they can react to pain?
Right. And honestly, my son,
She's gonna cry.
my son's was only 2 years difference in age from Olivia, so they were like brother sister. He's 21 now, and well, he got his first full-time job. So this is prime example. He's a mentor, making more money than Mom's ever made, and he works with the youth. He stays 1 week at a camp with these kids and then comes home. But I don't want to take away, but this is what's grown in our children somewhat. I like to say that we were influenced on our little sister, Summers, and
they have always wanted to be like Olivia. So this event has kind of just kicked it into overdrive, but our kids are who they are because of Olivia.
Yes.
They were more brothers. They've worshipped the ground that she walked on, and they saw her and they mirrored everything that she did. So our kids they had this instilled in them, and that is a perfect example, is that her son is carrying that memory and just taking it a step further for Olivia. But again, whatever Olivia did, they did.
He's 21, hasn't gone to a bar, and he has drank responsibly. But he's also a great role model for the younger, but they have their moments. Mom, you said we could cry, but I cry in the shower. My son,
I do too, but that's just me.
That's my place, and I know my son, when he puts his playlist on of the songs, my Blake, my middle boy, he has her picture on his computer. My youngest one, they're all they've missed. My son had to graduate a week after Olivia passed. So it's made them stronger, and that's they're our guidance. And this doesn't have to be, as my mother says, a tragedy, and it goes with our children too. You allow it to make them stronger. Yeah.
You have to.
You ladies are astonishing. Like, for real, listen to what you're doing. Like, when we talk about ripple effects, think of how you got it's a heavy thing. And you guys had to deal with the problem of everything that happened with your sister. But guess what? That ripple of how amazing your sister is leaving that impact, not just in your community, but the damn bad community next door. Now look at what's going on. Like, I have to be honest, like, you guys are making us cry and all that. Bob, do you have any questions? Because I'll just keep going. I'm a chatterbox.
No, you go right ahead, man. I'll tell you what, though, I've been rocked. I knew a lot of what was happening here, but I didn't know a lot of the little detail stuff. But I've been in I didn't lose somebody in that type of a tragedy, but I've lost wife, parents, brother, sister, child. I know the pain and the heartache of that, and just seeing the smiles and the joy that these girls have and are able to turn that tragedy around like that, man. I seriously, I got tissues right here next to me. I've been choking up, so now I'm just happier than hell.
I think,
listening, man. Oh, God.
I think one of the big things that we've learned too, and we try to say, because the more you watch this, or the more that you talk to people, they come and tell you their story.
Yes.
So Bob, you sharing your story, and we try to tell everyone we all have something going on. We all are fighting some sort of battle. And if we would just be nicer to each other. I try to tell the kids the other day, whether you drown in 7 feet of water or 20 feet of water, it's the same result. And you can't compare. You just have to carry each other, and we got to carry each other through.
Right.
I'm soling you out. Keep preaching. Go. Preach, Stephanie. Preach.
I'll talk about the kids that have come up to us. You go into a school. We've been to Seminole in Florida. Excuse me. Conemaugh Valley. And they've told you their story in 5 minutes, and they get that caring. And it's honestly sad. We're trying to give them the resources. I also do that on our site. COVID has done things, but it is their story. And I hate to say that, but there's a lot of kids needing, and we need it. I need it,
There's our website.
If you go on our Facebook page, though, I've put a lot of resources on there for kids. Parents can get on there for an hour without their children. And that was during COVID for the schools. But it's just, again, we have to, like she said, carry each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just had a conversation. I was down in Deadwood in a saloon, just having a great old time, and I got introduced to somebody, and I started sharing a story with him, and I didn't find out until I was done telling him the story that he had just lost his son, and then watched his son's mother go off a cliff in front of him. I had no clue, but what I was telling him, I had to bury this little boy 2 years ago, 10-year-old boy. And man, I had people that were bitter and angry at God, and they were like looking for answers, and I didn't know what to tell them. So I went up to the mountains and I sat by a river, and I just like, oh God, what am I going to do? And I looked around and I saw the beauty in that canyon, all the rock formations and all that. And I heard the Lord ask me, you know what it took to create that beauty? And it told me it was just all this violence, this force, the extreme temperatures and winds and all that. It took extreme violence to create such beauty. And he said, we have a choice to either come through these things bitter or better. And man, you three, you're the epitome of that, man. Turning that tragedy around and bringing beauty to the world to see. Man, I'm telling you, you're going to make me cry.
I'm sorry.
You have no idea how many times I've tried to make Bob cry. So thank you. Tracy.
I'm not trying to make you cry.
I've tried to make him cry. So I'm just glad he actually has tears in him, No, Miss Tracy, I'm going to come back to you now. This has been your mom. This is difficult. Your daughters are very beautiful. By the way, Olivia's smile is contagious. Like,
Isn't it?
They all have it.
like I'm not saying they don't, but I gotta compliment her back there. Stephanie, stop pushing Nicole out of the screen.
This is Olivia's show.
Right?
That's exactly what Olivia would be doing at this point. She'd be like, "Move, sissy, get out of the way. This is me." So
Hambo. She's a hambo.
I love that though. Thank you, Brian Tracy. You shared your website as well. We have your Facebook and your website for everybody to get out there and be able to go click, follow, like. So, Miss Tracy, you're a mom. This is a very, very difficult thing. And from what I understand, the car that the accident was in, you actually now have, and you use it to show everybody
That's
how dangerous.
Right.
That's your plan.
It was impounded it took us 3 years to get this guy to trial, and we got him on all counts, and then we got through sentencing, so we can now have the car out of impound. We have it stored. We don't need my daughter's not in that car. I don't need my children to suffer anymore. My daughters here were the ones that identified her. I was in Florida, she was in Pennsylvania, because of her love for her father, who had a massive stroke, and she was in Pennsylvania. I want to do one presentation at Olivia's high school, and there is another friend that I have, Cindy Tilley, who has a nonprofit called Forgotten Angels. I have built, in this last year that COVID has been messing with us and we couldn't be out there, I've built this amazing network of people and with their own nonprofits, and they all have their own story. They all deserve to tell it, but we don't necessarily need to see this car. But I am going to make these 2 presentations that I promised, and then I want it to go to Mothers Against Drunk Driving or Students Against Drunk Driving, and let them make some good of it. Let it be an educational tool, because the girls can tell you, when you go to these, it's not a criticism, but you go to a prom promise, or you go somewhere, and they've got a cracked windshield, and they've got a dented bumper. That's not what it looks like. That's not what real life looks like. This car is beat up, and it's beat up good. And my daughter died in that car, but the most important thing is that we can make something good come of that. Because as a mother, as you said, losing a child is incomprehensible. Mm-hmm. But then watching your surviving children fall into that despair and darkness it's a double whammy for a mother. And I think I've raised great kids, and they're raising great kids. But I think they all thought I was a little crazy at first, because it wasn't 2 months after Olivia was killed that I stopped asking why. You know what I'm saying, Bob?
I do.
Sometimes you have to stop asking why. And the only way I could get through was how. How am I going to get through today, this hour, this minute?
Right.
And that's how you do it, because some things are not for us to know. But if you can make something good happen from it, if you can recognize the blessings and learn the lessons, then that's what we're doing. And yes, Olivia was just a one of a kind person. I mean, that's true. And we're going to keep her story going. But at the same time, we are building something so beautiful that can benefit absolutely anyone. That's our hope.
And that's actually where I was going to go. Is you're showing people the positives. You're taking something that was a very heavy situation, and I want to compliment you, Miss Tracy, because truthfully, your daughters, you took that pain and you look at how well they're representing your Olivia right now. They're not afraid, and that has spread into the grandkids and everything. And that started with your strength for all of them. Yeah. And they'll admit that. I don't have to say anything different. I'm just that third party outsider that brings it to
definitely. Yeah.
My thing is, keep changing the world. Oh, by the way, you all get one F-bomb, so have fun with it. Use it when you want.
She's out.
Wait, Stephanie doesn't swear?
No, I swear so much.
I was waiting for her to use the F word right there. I swear so much. I'm like, I was waiting. Nicole's like, no, I'm gonna just cut my.
No, Nicole always,
Yeah.
she'll call me and she'll go, I'm really fricked off. And I'm like, just one time, will you please just say the real F word? Like, please just say it. And she'll be like, I'm just so fricked off. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense.
Nicole, that's my favorite word. Do you know why? Because you find out so much about people when you say that word. Like, they're either like, oh, he used that in such a good way, or they're like, that guy has a very potty mouth. And then I tell them I'm a former youth pastor. Who does that open up doors? Like, now, I want to go back a step because I made us all laugh. That's what I do because it was a very sad moment. But Tracy, you're changing the world, whether you know it or not. It's when you change
changing the world.
Oh, I'm getting to your daughters. Don't you worry. I'll get to those two in a second. I'm complimenting you right now, Miss Tracy. Miss Tracy, you are changing the world by leading the way you did. And if nobody else tells you that today, I'm letting Bob be the one to have the credit, and he's telling you that because you are an amazing mother. You're doing what so many people could fall apart and you didn't. So please, I'm making her cry. I'm moving on to Stephanie and Nicole. Tracy,
thank you.
Please keep staying.
Crying.
I'll tell you, it took a lot of strength to get past that why thing so quick, man. I spent a year and a half there, or maybe a year there before I got to the point where it was like, okay, I got to do. All I could think for a year and a half was, I don't know how to do this. And I just don't know how to do it. What do I do? I mean, your life is instantly transformed, and it's not easy to get through, man.
No.
I have them stronger together, right, girls?
There we go. That's
And
actually where my next question was going to be. How do you guys keep together as women to make your family grow stronger together? And then your mom says it. So take it, Stephanie. I know you're dying to talk with me again.
I think Bob said it perfect though, and I think that's one thing that we've all learned is that everybody grieves differently, and we always think that we're being sympathetic or having empathy for people, but grief lasts so much longer than sympathy. And I think that's one thing that I've learned. You send food or you do something for someone, that's not the time that we need to be checking on people. We need to be checking on people now, 2 years down the road. I mean, my mom speaks like, I'm still not okay. I'm not. And it's been very, very hard. I mean, Livy, thanks to mom, she spent every summer with me, almost every holiday up here and with family. And it's just one day, it's just gone. And like Bob said, everybody is completely different. And I think after you get past that initial shock of what happened, that's the crucial time that we need to be checking on each other and taking care of each other, because once that shock and that numbness wears off is when people, I've noticed, really fall apart. And if that's, it all goes back to taking care of each other, because it could be years down the road. It could be never that someone deals with that. And it's not just the funeral's over and, you got to keep reaching out, and we got to keep taking care of each other, because there's no time frame and you just got to get through it. But it's easier when you have like Nicole and mom and in our families together, like that's in our friends, like that's what it takes.
You've
And
made it
it's
so
so
normal. I mean,
yeah,
it's true though. Like you go it after my sister passed, it was a shock to the county that, everyone looked at you. You walk in a store and then comes the week that no one looks at you. And it was the worst feeling in the world to feel like you're still feeling that way. Even with my significant other, there was just things that my mom, my sister got. And, my fiance would say, what's wrong? But she made me feel normal many times, because if no one else in the world had that thought, she had it, or my mom had it. And we had 3-way chats many, many times. My mom's up in Florida. We're in Pennsylvania. If stuff was going over here, one was pulling us back in. I mean, that's what we did. It's true. We, today I lost my mind. Steph's going to pull me back in. Maybe we both lost our mind. My mom, and that's truly what we did we still do. You could do all these great things. At the end of the day, Olivia's still not here, and that's our personal effect of it. You could feel good that you're doing good and affecting people, but that never leaves you.
No,
And like, we're always here. Like, even anyone that's listening, like, if someone just doesn't know who to talk to, like, please, like, I know Nicole and me and my mom, we're more than willing to just, I think the best thing you can do for someone that's grieving is not to say, oh, they wouldn't want you to be sad.
Yeah.
Or I think the best thing we can do is say, tell me about them. Tell me, Bob, tell me about your wife. Tell me about what was her favorite thing. And that is what helps people and gets them through, is that you just want to talk about them. And
when
if
you
anybody,
need and do it,
right. Or I'll just listen. And I think that's what's gotten us all through, because we've all, and Bob, I'm sure, Mom, it's the worst feeling and it's not anyone's fault, but when people see you coming and they don't know what to say, so they put their head down, and it crushes you. And we don't want anyone to ever feel that way. So again, we're always here to talk with people, and we'll put you under our arm and we'll get you through it the best way that we know how. But in the same, it's going to help us too. It helps us.
Yeah.
And listen, girls,
when you've been through that yourself, like I was a pastor for 27 years, I walked more families through loss of husbands and children. I had all, quote unquote, all the answers. But boy, when you're on the other side of that, man, all of that stuff is just cliche. I was in a surreal state, and it just, the people that helped me the most were the ones that just came to my house with a bottle of whiskey, a cigar, and a pizza, and sat there and stared at the floor with me. If I wanted to talk, we talked. If not, I mean, it's so important to have somebody. And once you've been through it, like now, I meet people, even right now. I mean, I started crying a couple of times, because when you're sharing that story that you've been through, the person that is going through it now, I can't explain it, but there is a connection there that they know what you're talking. There's an empathy.
Right, yeah.
It is so real and it's so emotional, man, and it's so important what you guys are doing, because there's people out there going through what you're going through, and you guys didn't pull away and hide somewhere. You're out there. The love you're giving to these other people through your daughter and your sister is incredible, and it is so.
We had no idea how many people that affected. I mean, she was 20 years old. We know she's a good kid. We know that she was well liked, but we had no idea how many people she truly affected. I want to say to my girls, and to you, Bob, or Brandon, or anyone, don't ever let anyone tell you it's time to be over it or
my God,
done grieving, because you only ever stop grieving if you stop loving that person. You just have to. You learn to heal, and you learn to live with it. You never stop grieving. So don't ever let anybody tell you that.
I had close friends tell me, brother, you need to get your head out of your ass. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You get it. No, man, everybody's different. I know people that have gone through loss, and then 2 months later, their life was great and they're married again. Not me. I mean, it's been 6 years, and I can't tell you how many times. I love loving people. I can't tell you how many times I'll come back here at night. I'm staying in a friend's camper up in South Dakota, and it's those lonely hours, man. I'll just sit here and cry. It gets so damn lonely, So yeah, I'm gonna choke again. But anyway,
well, this has been healing for us, and I'm excited to. I mean, COVID messed us up so bad. I can't wait to get back into the schools, because these kids have already shown us what they're capable and wanting to do. My girls have started, we're sponsoring the Pee Wee cheerleaders. This scholarship that we have, the humanitarian award, as Stephanie said, you don't have to be the smartest kid, and you don't have to be the star athlete, because there's plenty of money for that. You got to be the nicest kid, right? And talking to all these kids, they're coming to us, and we're helping them make their dreams come true. But it's more about that than it is about the scholarship. But we've got them all competing to be the nicest kid. That's a win. That's
Yes.
It is, absolutely.
So,
Our goal has always been to have kids fighting over good deeds in Olivia's name. And when we say, okay, who has an idea? And they literally, they just go crazy with ideas, and maybe they're afraid and they don't know where to start. So that's what we want to be. We want to be that tool to help get them. We have kindness cards, and what we do is just a random act of kindness. So you buy someone a coffee, you hand them the card, and it says, this random act of kindness was done in Olivia's name. The best part about that, now again, we're in a small town. We actually got a kindness card back from someone that didn't even know who we were. Right.
Oh, that's cute.
Handed us the card. Yeah, and we're like, do you know who we are? And they're like, no, this is Olivia. Wait, I don't know.
At Dollar General.
Yeah. I don't know if I heard, if your story, if you heard this is a beautiful little girl. And I'm like, we made that card. Like that card, we made that. So to see it circulating and we hand them out, and it's been amazing, and it's all in her name, and it's great. And we just want to keep going, and we have so many events coming up.
Is that like a business card?
It's like a business card, and it literally.
I'm going to send you an address. You've got to send me some of those.
Okay.
I want one too.
Okay.
I want one too, Bob.
I want a bunch of them.
Brandon.
We have. I think I ordered 10,000 of them, so you're good. I can spare one.
Do you do a hashtag? Do you do a hashtag or anything for it, so that way people could take a picture, and that way you can see? That's a really good idea. We don't, but that is a really good idea. And then, well, actually, one of the girls that we had that was part of the school, she numbered hers, and people were doing it and going, but the hashtag, that's a really good idea. And then people can share the story and it can spread even further. That's a very good idea, Brandon. And then I have a quick question. Is your sister's nickname Libby?
Yes.
Like living the change is what came. Libby the change. That way you use her name, and sorry, my ADD kicks in a lot, but that's okay. I want to act ADD. Oh, good. I'll be perfect. I'll be your mascot. Just dress me up like a squirrel. I'll run around. It works perfect. So I have to ask, how, other than the kindness cards and donating money in that, I'm going to bring your website back in. How can people be able to get involved and bring more attention to you guys? Like, I see that you have your mission, your events. Get involved. I want to be able to ship Fernando to you so you guys can have Fernando to do everything you need, But how can we get people to get involved, connect with you ladies, and spread the kindness that you're doing?
Mom, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, reach out to us on the website. If there's something that you need help with, we'll never turn away somebody who needs a hand up, reach out to us on the website. That's been one of the most challenging things, is getting people to our website. And you can donate. We can always use that, because it's one thing to buy somebody a cup of coffee, but when somebody's house burns down and they need our help and we want to be right there, that takes funds, that takes money. COVID's messed that all up, but you know what? We keep going. And we want everyone to feel a little bit of just how soul satisfying this is. And really, you don't know how it's going to affect your world.
It's addicting. It's very addicting.
Yes.
Well, if you go on, sorry.
No, go, Nicole. This is your time.
No, if you go onto our website, like she said, it takes. We did hat and gloves. That's a prime example.
Oh, yeah.
I want to give a kid a winter coat. I don't want to give him a hat and gloves. You can donate directly on there. Number one, our scholarship is on there. You can donate money for those things. We do food drives. That money we're doing with the football varsity players. They're going to be working at a soup kitchen. We're providing that meal for them. We're doing a backpack thing. So all that money is going directly to kids. We've done veteran things. Again, we have had people that lost their house. Lots of first responders. You can join our Wix app on there. Our site is through Wix, and that's a direct connection. I keep track of that. We do have a store of our clothing. You can go. It's up right now because we're doing a football game, but it'll come up every 2 months or so, just when we have an event. And honestly, the money that comes in is pretty much going back out. So the more that comes in, the more things we're going to do here in the future.
One of our most successful one was what Nicole had mentioned, the hat and glove giveaway. So we gave out over 1,000 pairs of hat and gloves. And the cool part was we look at it as, you always see Toys for Tots and different things where people have to go and pick up the donation. So there's spots that they have to go to. And we got together and we talked and we said, hey, a donation is only as good as someone that's willing to go get it, or having a parent that's willing to take them up to go get the donation. So we went into the heart of our town, into the housing authority and into the place where the kids didn't need a ride,
the need was there.
Where they didn't have transportation. And we sat and these kids just came. We were in their basement and we were saying, come get knocking on doors, come get hats and gloves. And we handed out coloring books and we ate with the kids. And it was just so nice. Like we had said, to be at ground zero where the kids needed it. It needed it the most. And they didn't need a ride to get there. That's the hardest part. If someone needs a hat and a glove, it's going to be very hard for them to drive somewhere and get in their car and to get that donation. So we're going to come to you. We served hot chocolate and we talked to the kids.
Well, some of their
faces were just, and we're just like shoving cookies in their pockets because some of them were hungry and we're just like, yes.
Where do I go to get a cookie? Where do I go? I'm in Ohio.
We're not far from Ohio. We're only about an hour and a half from Pittsburgh. So.
So that means you're Steelers fans.
Yes.
There we go.
Tread lightly. Tread lightly.
Wait. I'm a Browns fan. I know what it's like to suck, right?
We appreciate your fandom. We appreciate your fandom.
I'm sorry. We gotta go.
Guys, I don't know what happened to their website. It just disappeared.
I do. We do.
Honestly, I think that when both teams are good, it makes the rivalry more fun. And the Browns have been, oh my God, horrible for so long. Like we've been the laughing station. See, Bob's up there laughing. Do you see him laughing?
Football, but I did hear.
But you got the number one draft pick. What happened after that?
Which time?
Okay.
We had 2 years in a row. All right, 2 years in a row we had the number one draft pick, and now we're finally starting to see a difference.
And you threw it away.
Hey, Stephanie.
I heard that if both teams do well, they're going to let them play in the pros next year. Is that right?
Cleveland. So I'm going to tell you.
You didn't even know the city. You don't get to make fun of me.
No, I'm going with a joke, and I just wanted to make sure the joke. So listen, we went to a game, and it was against the Browns, and
awesome.
It's a little bit of a dirty joke. And the guy, he was on the bus, and he says, I'm here. He said, my girlfriend told me, take her somewhere dirty. We're going to have a dirty night. And he's like, I took her to see the Cleveland Browns.
As a Browns fan, you have to be able to laugh at certain things.
Yeah.
I agree.
Did you have an iPhone?
Mm-hmm.
If you ask the iPhone where the factory of sadness is, it takes you to the Browns Stadium, just so you know.
That's funny.
Aww.
Thank you, Nicole.
I'm gonna do that.
My kids will get a kick out of that. Factory of sadness. Okay.
Aww.
So I have a very, very important question here. How do I get involved with this money man trivia? And can you explain it? I went through the pictures. I stalked your nonprofit through those pictures on that one. Mm-hmm. It's just a little bit of stalking. Like, how do you get involved with that? How can I ship Fernando to you guys? And how can we change the world the way you all are?
Okay, so the Money Man trivia was through a connection. Actually, he did that to sponsor us and gain attention to our foundation. He does that in our area highly. He does great things for our county. He just had been giving $10,000 away pretty much annually, and that was his first and only trivia night, and to get us funds, knowing a good guy, money man, there is no identity. That is his thing. So people don't know who he is, but he just had a scavenger hunt. It was his second annual one. You get to the end, you win $10,000 cash.
That's excellent. That's
and he did that out of kindness for us. Just he knew people that we knew and wanted to do something good.
Wow.
I need friends like that. Like, good Lord.
Right?
Right?
Well, we don't even know what he looks like, so we can't introduce you, but he raised a lot of money for us that night, and it was all out of the kindness of his heart. So we were very grateful.
You have to understand, Brandon, that a lot of times what we do, we are doing ourselves. So I mean, it's been a weird year, but we don't stop. We don't stop. We keep helping people, but we do need to raise funds, and we have partnered with so many wonderful people, and I've built a network, and the girls as well. You just kind of feed off each other, and we want to keep going. So I'm excited about getting back into the schools. I'm excited about the backpack projects. I've had these women like stalking me in Walmart, giving me these dirty looks going, we need some of those things. I'm just taking them off the shelves like it's big left. And I finally said, we're donating them to kids at the elementary and middle school and high school level. And she said, oh my God, I'm a guidance counselor. Thank God for people like you. And no, okay, you go ahead and take as much as you want. So,
One minute you hate me, now you love me.
Well, you give me that evil eye because I was literally just emptying the shelves. So we're excited to get back into the schools, and we want to do, we never turn anyone away if they come to us for help, or if they just need a shoulder or an ear, or maybe they need their heating bill paid, or maybe they need help with something. We want to be the ones to do that. The girls have more stuff planned, and now that we can actually get up and go, why don't you girls talk about what's coming in the future?
Yes, please. That was actually going to be my next question before I bring the final question out.
See, Brandon, we're on the same page.
Tracy and I are on the same wavelength. I don't know where the rest of you guys are.
So currently, some of the things that we're doing, we had worked with the Pee Wee cheerleaders. We sponsored their shirts this year, and in return, our town here has just created and built. It's called a safe house. And the safe house is where women and children can go if they need to get out of a battered relationship or runaways, abuse. So we're finally getting a safe house in Johnstown. So we asked the girls, there's 80 cheerleaders on this Pee Wee team. So we said, we're going to go ahead and talk to you, and we're going to sponsor your clothing, but we want you to do this drive. So they're currently doing a drive and collecting items. So of course, if someone leaves in the middle of the night because they're in an abusive relationship, they're not going to think to take a blanket or a toothbrush or deodorant. So this is what we have the girls doing right now. It's
lighting a spark with their parents.
Right.
This is giving the parents, they go in the store, what we have done with our boys. Why are we doing this? And it's just that little bit, and it's exciting. Again, the hardest crowd was these Pee Wee cheerleaders. We're going to meet with the Pee Wee football players, but you're kind of, even the parents, getting that little bit that they're going to start talking to their kids about it. That's one of the safe house.
The football players are going to serve 250 meals. And I'm excited to watch them because, to be honest, the best part about serving those meals is seeing someone's face that is truly hungry and truly wants that. And you hand them that meal and you sit and you talk with them. And they have tables there, we sit, we talk with them. It's the best part. So we're going to have the football players do that. We have that football game coming up. We're hoping to do another hat and glove giveaway. If we can get that up and running, with COVID and everything, it put a delay. It's hard to get a lot of supplies. So
we donated a lot of our money to direct, how can you ask people for money right now? We did the masks. So the money from the masks went to our emergency personnel, the hospital, meals. So that's where, I mean, we didn't make any money off that. Most
we
of
don't
the
make
things
we don't make any money.
we
off that.
haven't really made any money. And that is the truth. At the end of the day, to do more, we need to make some money. But you couldn't ask people for COVID. I was struggling during COVID. I mean,
Right.
so
Right.
we have. Sorry.
Go ahead, Nicole. No, Nicole, don't
And
ever say sorry. You are a queen. Run it, girl.
We were also asked to do the prom programs. So we had to halt that because of COVID. Coming up with a structure for that. Another school. We did do a mock accident. And hopefully, again, the car will be put. But these are the things we see in the future. Again, yes, we're doing hat and gloves, but I would really like to see a coat on a kid versus handing them hat and gloves.
Mhm.
You know, COVID kids could have used electronics. I just want it to grow, and it's need, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nicole, don't girl, I'm gonna come after you.
There.
Yeah. So I was asked a question in the comments that says we could make up Pittsburgh Rules, Cleveland Rules t-shirts. I would be willing to wear one of these and support your nonprofit. But I'm not paying for it because I'm a Clevelander and I have a full sleeve Cleveland tattoo. Is that fair? Is that a
Fair.
compromise?
Done.
Shake on it, Stephanie.
Yes.
We're shaking. So
I love the idea.
I do too. And well, that, and then the other one, can we take them with us to South Africa? So my co-host for my morning show is from South Africa. I tell everybody she's a professional shark trainer, but she's not. It's fun. But we would love to take a trip there. So they're asking, can I take you guys with me? And I'm like, if they want to go, I'm not paying for everybody, but yes, you're welcome to join us. Like,
You mean if I buy you a shirt, you're not going to take me to South Africa?
I don't think your husband would like that compromise very much. Oh, I gave him a shirt, honey. What did he give you? Oh, we went to South Africa. We went on this reserve, slept on a king-size bed under the moon. It was heaven. Wait, what?
I don't see an issue. I don't see an issue, Brandon.
Is Nicole coming too? I got to make sure Nicole and Tracy come.
We're a package deal.
I had a feeling. It's for the rhinos. It's for the rhino rescue that we're going.
Oh my gosh.
Really, and that's the true thing. That's why we want to go there. But
Yes.
Oh God, that was last Friday's interview in the morning. By the way, he is insanely handsome, and I'm straight as can be. He made me be like, "Good Lord, you're handsome, dude!" Like I had to show his Instagram because he's got his shirt off, and I'm like, I've not known anybody as jacked as this dude. So just a heads up.
Well, and listen, to tell you, the pictures of Olivia, she's at an elephant rescue because, and that's where our logo is from, because Olivia was so passionate about animal rescues. So definitely rhino rescue. We're on our way. We're coming.
I love it. I love it. So the way I end every episode is we actually speak words of positivity. Like, so it's your favorite quote. It's your favorite book. It's something that you have on your heart that says, hey, don't but like whatever is on your heart this is the opportunity to be able to speak it. Now, I usually tell everybody, how do you want to leave your impact on the world? But at the end of the day, I am not saying that today because you're leaving an impact on the world. So I want to say, how can others leave an impact in your eyes on the world? It's a different type of question. I'll go
ahead,
first.
Mom.
Bob will go second, and then you ladies get to go. I'll go Bob, then Tracy, then Stephanie and Nicole. Nicole, you're last because I don't want you to be nervous, okay?
Thank you.
You got it. So the way we guys, go subscribe, go click. I've got the Facebook up here. I will share it again when everybody's talking. The way to change the world is doing exactly what these women are doing and focusing on others first. Lead with kindness, lead with sincerity, and lead with love, because they went through one of a hell of a situation that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. And they're not just putting out positivity, they're changing the world around them and creating a ripple effect that will spread far. Do yourself a favor, go like their Facebook page, go buy a Cleveland Browns shirt that goes along against their stuff just to support them, but help us be that change in the world, just like these ladies are doing. We all can change this world together. Bob, bring us in, buddy.
All right, sir. Well, hey, when I think it was Tracy that said, when you do something for others, what it does for your soul. And when she said that, and a couple other times through this, a verse of scripture went through my head that it says, the joy of the Lord is my strength. And for me, what that means is, when we go through difficult things and we press through and we go ahead and we do good, like Tracy and her daughters are doing for others, man, that brings great joy to God's heart, and that gives us strength when we know that we're helping somebody else, especially somebody who can't help you in return. And it feeds your soul and gives you strength. So I want to encourage you, especially if you know somebody that can't do anything for you, just go out there and do something for them. It will build your spirit, it will build your soul. At the end of the day, you're going to feel great, and you're going to help a total stranger. And like that ripple effect, you don't know who that person is that you're going to touch. And we're all leaving ripples, man. You can't get through life without making a ripple. The only question is, where are you rippling to? Are you going to lead somebody out of darkness, or, well, we're all leaders. So go out there and love somebody, man. It's that simple. Just get over yourselves and just go love somebody else. You will feel better, they will feel better, and the world will be a better place, man. So God bless you guys. I'm so glad about today having you on here. You made me cry a couple times. Just bless you. Go make a difference like these girls are. Bless you guys.
Well,
Thank you,
Thank
Bob.
you.
Thank you.
Our motto is do good, be kind, live red. And that's really all you have to do. You have to remember you don't have to be paying someone's heating bill or getting them warm clothes. You can smile at someone. You can
Yeah.
take a minute and hold a door, or
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things that cost nothing. Kindness costs
Yeah.
nothing,
Yeah.
but it is a ripple effect, and you have every opportunity to change the world.
Yeah.
Just keep treating people the way you would like to be treated. Just
Yeah.
do good, be kind, live red.
Amen.
I guess that's me. So I guess what I always just try to say is, be kind to those that you wouldn't normally be kind to, or you think because they're different. Those are the people that need it most. Like I said, it's easy to be kind to your friends, people that are in your same social groups. But we need it where it's not received the most. And that's a true test of our character. And if we can just keep living our life the way that Olivia did, and you can just see in her smile that she would just light up a room, and she truly was an amazing human being. And if we could all just mirror her and live our lives the way that she did, we're going to keep making a difference.
Now, Nicole, push Stephanie out of the way and tell yours.
Okay, I'm gone.
No, I'm just kidding, Stephanie.
I've been sitting here thinking, and I'm going to tell you a very quick story. One time I was at the mall, and this is it's stupid to some, but sits with me dearly. I was at the mall with my son, and we're in the food court, and there's one of those crane machines, and kept giving him dollars, and he just had the crane gonna knock it in, and he's gonna win, this $10 toy now at this point. But I ran out of one, so we run over, and we're gonna go to the ATM and get some more money out. And I'm being honest, I've never done this in my life, but I sat there, and there's this ghetto looking, if you want to call it that, I judged, and this girl goes up, she puts her money, and I'm thinking she's taking his toy and gonna walk away. And shame on me, because she handed my son that toy. She won that toy and walked over and handed it to him. So that's just a great thing I think about, and people should live by, that there was me judging for a moment of a second of my life. So, my mom said it, Steph said it. Our motto is do good, be kind, live red. And Olivia, this is her senior yearbook said, do good in the world. That's what she wanted to do. So let's do
Wanted
good in
to
the
do more
world.
good in the world.
Mhm.
You made
We're
me
gonna get
cry,
there. We need it.
ladies.
We need everyone.
Hey,
We're gonna get there. We just need everyone to jump on the board.
Yeah.
Jump on board.
you've thrown the rock, and the ripple effect is happening. So keep knowing you're doing it, and you're doing amazing thing, guys. Facebook, website, it's all right there. Go give them the love. Go give them the follow. Get involved, ladies. Any events you have, please pass it along, and I will make sure to share it with
Thank
my
you.
community.
Thank you.
I will probably be emailing you during the season, talking crap, especially with my Browns finally looking decent. You know, guys, this was so much like I don't want to say fun. It was yeah.
It was
Fun.
It was
Refreshing.
It was, and thank you. We can't thank you enough because, again, like we said, this is part of our healing process and just spreading Olivia's legacy with the world. So we just really want to thank you for allowing us to do that, because right now our hearts are full. And I was having a bad day earlier and missing my little girl, and I know mom has bad days, we all do, and it's things like this that just make it better. And Bob, I want to hear from you more and hear how you're doing, and we can all just check on each other. So definitely thank you for giving me this opportunity to meet everyone and meet Bob. And I'll be waiting for our ticket for South Africa.
Oh yeah, it's in the mail. I bought it in the background.
I thought so. Okay.
Excellent.
Ladies, thank you
As
for
soon as
spreading
I
your
find
sisters.
out when and
Oh. Go,
You
Bob.
can share that with us too. I
I
gladly
don't-
will share that information.
Mhm.
Which one?
I'm
South
trying to
Africa?
figure out when
We
and-
will, yes, the run it. And I think that definitely, why not? Get some
Oh,
more.
I wasn't sure if that's what you meant, or share Bob. I was more than happy to share Bob with you ladies. He was more than happy for me to share him.
We're happy to support your causes too,
No,
Brandon.
So
But I'm
we
trying
have
to figure out when and how
I
I'm
know.
going back to
First time
Texas.
I've ever seen Bob speechless.
Well, when so
Love you, Bob.
I'm trying to figure out how and when I'm going to get back to Colorado. And when I do, I'm going to contact you. I really want some of your business
Those
card
cards.
things, because
Okay.
I want to
For
pass
sure.
them around. So as soon as I figure out where I'm going to be and how I'm going to get there, I'll get an address to you. But
For
I
sure.
never know
And
Let us know
Brandon,
when you're coming back to Florida.
right. And Brandon, send
Absolutely.
us yours.
Oh, yeah.
We'll send you some cards too.
Absolutely. If you stick around after the show, we'll talk for a few seconds, and that way you guys can go put your fingers in the kids' food, and that way claim it as your own. Whatever you got to do, I understand.
Okay. Okay.
Guys, this was the an honest conversation about health, hemp, and happiness. But tonight we learned about health in a mental health, the emotional health, and the family health way. And I have to be honest, this was an amazing way to do it, with the sadness that it had, the joy that's coming out of it. This is what we're supposed to be in this earth. So ladies, thank you for changing the
Thank
world.
you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank
Have
you.
a good one, everybody. See you next week.
Love y'all.
Bye.